All right, today I'm going to address the right financial path, the right financial decision. Um, why do we hear financial advice from gurus, from TV, from articles, wherever? One of them will say one thing, and then you flip the page or you click through, and then another guy says the exact opposite. How is this possible? Why don't they teach this in school? Why don't we have a high school class on financial, literacy? And I'll tell you because it's very personalized. It's highly personalized. I would say it's more personalized than probably, you know, medical advice, right? Because everybody could say, okay, you got to eat healthy, you know, you got to take vitamins, you got to exercise. That some of that stuff is universal. Nobody's well, Dave Ramsey's saying never have debt, right? Now, is that sound financial advice for everybody? No. Some There's another guy, Rich Dad Poor Dad, says take out $1 billion in debt. Not sound financial advice every single time. Guys like me, Kevin, do real estate, flip houses. He does it in California. Does that sound financial advice for everybody? No, it's not. So the thing to understand about the financial path, the financial decision, is it's based off a lot of things. It's not just one answer. One thing it depends on is your education. What did you grow up with? What were you comfortable with? What did you see growing up? Did your parents have rentals? Do you have fond memories of the tenants? Did you play with them, or were they a pain in the butt and they always complained? Your dad was always over there fixing stuff. They'd ruin the house. I mean, that can steer you away from real estate, right? Or what if you were in the financial crash of 2008 and you saw your parents lose half their 401k? Said, "Oh, I should have never been in stocks," or whatever they said. That may steer you away from stocks a little bit, okay? And you may not be investigating those because they're just off the table. So it does depend on what you're comfortable with, what your education is around that. If your parents went to payday loans all the time, maybe you're comfortable getting a payday loan. You say, you know what, I pay it back quick. Uh, it's better than a bunch of overdraft fees, and and it worked for them, so why wouldn't it work for me? I mean, yeah. So it depends on your education level, what you're used to, what happened as you were growing up. I did research on this for my doctorate on the effects of um, your family dynamic on financial literacy growing up, and it has a huge effect. It has a profound effect. Okay. Other thing is your personality. What's your personality like? If somebody said, "I'll lend you $1 billion," I said, "Yeah, give it to me. Give it to me." You want, X amount of money back every month for it? I could do that. I could do more than that, and I'll pocket some, right? Whereas somebody, if they have, $100,000 payment due at the end of the month, even though they have that $1 billion, it'll still keep them up at night. They'll go insane. Okay, so it has to do with your personality as well. Okay, um, I mean, it has to do with where you're at in your life. It has to do with context. Where are you at in your life? Do you have young children? Are you renting? Do you live with parents? Stuff like that. There's no there's no hard and true answer to a financial question. There's a 20-year-old owns a house with no kids, and there's a guy that's married at 18 with two kids. That math doesn't work, but anyways, and lives with his parents. Those are two totally separate situations. They're gonna make two totally separate financial decisions that are gonna be maybe contradictory. Okay, like if you take the Dave Ramsey path, and he says, you know what, live at your mom's house for 15 years and save up money and buy everything cash. Not in a million years. Not I wouldn't do it that in a million years. That's just not something I would do. That's just not appealing at all. I mean, it may be in the long run it may work. Absolutely, it may work. But I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna meet people. You know, maybe start a business. That's another thing. Entrepreneurship is not for everybody either. Um, I mean, entrepreneur. I had maybe three clients that were top tier clients. They had 9 to 5 jobs. They were welders. They were insurance people. Um, I mean, not everybody has that entrepreneurial spirit. So the guy that says, "Oh, all you got to do is build a business," I forgot what that guy's name is. He says, "Do one deal a year and you'll be a billionaire." What is a deal a year, right? I guess you got to. It's Cardone. I think his name's Cardone. What do you got to sign up for his thing and he shows you what a deal is? I don't know. Like I said, there is no right financial path. We make decisions in context. We make decisions based on our comfortability. We make decisions based off of our situation. We make decisions with our partner, right? If you have, if and you're bringing together two totally separate experiences, like I said at the beginning, two separate experiences, two separate childhoods, two separate understanding of the problem, of solutions, two separate, and you're putting those together. And now you have to make joint decisions. That's even tougher, right? Because you may be comfortable taking out a home equity loan. She may want to borrow money from her mom. Okay, is anybody out there saying borrow money from your mom? That's a wonderful financial decision. Probably not. But could it be a sound financial decision in your situation? Absolutely. Absolutely. People do it all the time. People buy rental properties and rent them to their kids, right? Nobody's saying that's going to make you rich, but that is could be a sound financial decision based on this situation. Other people say never go into business, never deal with finances with your family. And that goes back to the dynamic at the beginning. What did you grow up with? I had people perfectly fine having a accounting office with their 5 siblings. I know somebody that does that. You know what? They make a lot of money and they're with their family all day. Some people sounds amazing. Some people that would be absolutely horrible. So, when you're out there and you're looking for financial advice, don't get stuck on this is the way. This is why you meet with financial advisors. This is why you have financial professionals. This is why you're inundated with so much financial advice because it could be the right way. They could be saying something that is pertinent to you, or it could be something that would absolutely blow up your life, but also still be right at the same time. So, this is why do it yourself is so crucial when it comes to finances. Do it yourself is absolutely crucial. Nobody is going to care about your money more than you. Nobody's going to be comfortable with your decisions more than you. Okay? Go to a financial advisor. They may be the best guy on the planet. They may be the smartest guy on the planet. They may make decisions that you completely disagree with, and they could have made you a lot of money. But that's what meeting a financial professional is about. Is about them giving you options. You see, you could get there by A, B, or C. Here's pros and cons, here's pros and cons, here's pros and cons on each one. You have to live with whichever pros and cons that you're comfortable with. And another thing, these gurus are not licensed. Check 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 brokercheck.com or brokercheck.gov, I think. Look up Dave Ramsey. Look up me, Kevin. Look up Rich Dad Poor Dad. Look up your guy, whoever your guy is. Look up Susie Orman. They're not licensed people. They've never sat in front of clients and worked with those clients. They may give you tough love, right? Taking a call, embarrass you, or whatever they do, but they're not working with families. They're not working with legacy money. They're not managing $50 million in assets when the market is crashing. Okay, they don't know what's going on. They're not helping individuals. They're writing a script and they're saying this script will work 100% of the time. It may be work 100% of the time, but there's other ways. There's always other ways, especially in finances. All right, somebody's calling. I gotta jump off.